everyone, my name is Kristoffer Briones. I'm the managing director for Dojo Philippines. Now, before we get started, I think the energy in the room is a little low. It's like a lot of talk. So, can we do an exercise? When I say, hey PBW, say what's up. Can we try that? Hey PBW! Not loud enough. Let's try it again. Hey PBW! Hey PBW! Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, I've spent more than a decade of my entire career abroad in learning and building innovation ecosystem. And today I'm going to share some personal insights about entrepreneurship, which is key to innovation. So, for who here who's not an entrepreneur yet have ever wanted to start a business? Please raise your hand. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur already. Raise your hand if you are, right? Not a lot of hands. I'm surprised. I thought this is like an innovative conference. All right, okay, so let's say you raise your hand and you have an idea. Well, what is the idea, right? Maybe you've gotten some inspiration from the conference, some blockchain-based ideas maybe. But there, even more important question, I guess, would be, how do you know if your idea is any good? An even more important question to that is, does a good business idea make you a great entrepreneur? Like, that's a question that we're gonna explore in the next couple of minutes. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you would have heard about this statistic by now. 90% of most startups fail within 3 years, regardless of industry, regardless of country. Now imagine if you go to a doctor or a surgeon, right? And then you go to the surgeon and the surgeon tells you that 90% of the time, people who undergo this operation that you need will die. Would you take it? Well, entrepreneurship is kind of like that, right? Most of the time it means death, right? Your company is probably going to die. So I think that's to get started with this, we need to understand why do companies fail anyways? Why do startups fail? So any ideas why do startups fail? Just shout it out. Runway. Ran out of money in their runway. Anything else? Lawsuits, yeah. Well, I think in the crypto space, there's a lot of that. That's why we're going to get away from that. Okay, so CB Insights did this study that they found out that across companies, different countries, top 3 reasons why startups fail is 1, very obvious, runway, ran out of money. 2, there's just no market need, right? And we're going to focus on number 2 for a bit, right? A lot of times when I asked you a while ago if you had a business idea, people, you probably think you have a good idea, it's in your head. But what if the market doesn't agree with you? So who's the authority in a good idea? Is it you or the market? So the thing about being a great entrepreneur is that a great idea is essentially making people care, right? Especially about the problem that you're trying to solve. We talk a lot about blockchain in this conference, but I'm going to make a little bit of a controversial statement. It's not really about blockchain. People don't really care. Now, I'm not dissing the technology. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, if you think about, for example, ChatGPT, right? I think someone mentioned this in the conference. Everyone knows it's AI, but nobody cares it's AI. They just care that it works. That's what people care about. So what we're interested in is like blockchain solutions or technology that just works, right? That's what it's about, right? So it's not about the technology, it's about the people. This is why in Dojo, we live the principles of design thinking and lean startup. And if you're not very familiar with those terms, essentially, before you spend millions of dollars on an idea, building it, wasting a lot of time and energy on something, you first need to know, do people care, right? Rather than you waste all of this effort and then in the end, nobody cares about this. So, who's Dojo Philippines? I'm going to make a little bit of a shameless plug. We're the new kids in the block. Pun intended. And what is Dojo? So Dojo is based in the UK. We started like a 12-month incubation program where we talk to idea stage entrepreneurs and we help them grow their businesses. Right? We focus on blockchain, obviously, and we want to flip that 90% failure rate that I was showing you a while ago to a 90% success rate. And our aim is that if you have an idea, you have a vision, we want to help you turn that into reality so you can scale your impact and solve the problems in the world, right? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme This is about really creating an impact that is scalable, and that's what we believe in, right? We want to turn small companies into the next big thing. So, just so you know that I'm not just talking about this, we've incubated already 41 companies to date, just in 18 months, right? In 5 cohorts, we've already done that. We're already in cohort 6 right now. And from that experience, we've learned a lot about what do entrepreneurs actually need? What do they need to succeed, right? And then even more important is how do we support them? How do you empower entrepreneurs to go from that high percent of dying to actually succeeding? So the first thing that I want to share with you is practical learning experience. So who here watches a lot of Netflix? You know, probably most in the room, you'll be just like, shy to admit it. But in any series, there's usually different arcs, right? So the first arc is usually about a month. We focus about the problem, as I was talking about a while ago. We first want to make sure that the entrepreneurs, even though they came in with a good idea, they go out there, they do some desk research, they talk to potential customers and see, do people care about this or not? And a lot of times what they find out is that the ideas that they had initially might not necessarily be a good fit, so they had to pivot, right? So they don't waste a lot of time building a solution that nobody cares about. And then we expose them to a lot of mentors, we expose them to different people just so they can validate their idea. And then they go to the second arc, which is the solution. So that's like learning how to go to market, financial modeling, building the actual prototype. And the third part is really just investment readiness, right? Like as someone mentioned a while ago, runway is important. We want to make sure that they can have enough money as they go along the way. So don't take our word for it. We have a lot of testimonials from 41 companies. And one of my favorites is that someone said they've gained more in the 3 months of the incubation program compared to 24 months or 2 years of an Ivy League MBA. Right? That's what it's all about. Because we're not just there sitting down in a classroom. You're there talking to real customers and really getting actual feedback, doing the real thing and executing it. The second thing that we learned is community and mentoring is very important. Now, I said a while ago, most startups fail, so why would you do something like that? It takes a lot of courage to do something like that. But here's the thing, what we've learned a lot in psychology is that it's a lot easier to have courage when you're not alone. So we try to cultivate and foster this culture of collaboration and support among our entrepreneurs in the cohort, and we expose them to different mentors, a diverse set, different functions. Even now in this case, we're going to be in the Philippines, we're going to have some access to some international mentors as well. The third thing is, access to international, partners. Right? So these are all just some of the companies that we work with to make sure that what our entrepreneurs are doing, they get to easily refine it, and it will be a lot easier rather than them doing it alone. So just to name a few, like Google Cloud, for example. Now, another thing important, especially while we're a blockchain-based company, it's important to have the right technology. So in Block Dojo, we promote BSV, and the reason being is that we believe that it's essentially one of the most efficient chains out there. I'm not going to go through all of them, but essentially one of the best things about it is like it has the lowest transaction fees. So if you are a B2B customer, for example, right, you want your solution to have a very reliable and predictable operating cost, and BSV delivers in this very well. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of blockchains out there that you can use, but this is just one of the things that we offer in the program, that you have access to this kind of technology. To give you one success story that we've incubated in the dojo, there's this company called Libraro. As you can see, where writers thrive, readers discover, and stories come to life. Now, in simple terms, think about it as like Amazon for indie writers, right? It's like a easy way to connect writers, and they can self-publish, and then you can buy straight from them. So if you see, nothing here mentions blockchain. The most important thing is it just works. That's the thing that we were about, right? And then lastly, as I said, to get through the valley of death, as we call it, essentially, a lot of startups don't make it to the next stage because they just ran out of money. They die before they can get to the next stage, before they become more profitable. So we allow our entrepreneurs, we support them to have access to more investors so they can keep going through investor dinners, showcase events. There's like a demo day after the end of the program where they can show what they've built, the actual solution that people have cared about. And essentially, this is one of the most interesting things we found. Just last year, in all of the blockchain companies or startups invested in, 24% went through the dojo, right? That's almost 1/4 of the whole industry just in the UK. So we want to replicate the success by moving to Asia and Philippines being the first pick of that spot, right? So we get to pioneer and innovate in this space. So to recap, how do we empower entrepreneurs? Just 5 things. 1, practical learning experience. Not just reading by the book, but actually going out there, talking to customers, getting it done. Second thing is community of support and mentoring. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to raise a company, right? The third thing is access to international networking partners. Again, going to a broader network so you don't have to do it alone, becomes faster, easier. Access to the right technology, something that is scalable and reliable, right? And the last thing is access to funding and investors, right? So you don't run out of money. So to close, we're gonna do a very quick exercise. So I know we don't have energy, so can I ask everyone to stand up, please? Very, very quick. This is gonna be a few seconds. Please stand up. This is very, very, very quick. So I want you to stand on one leg just for like 15 seconds, right? It's a quick exercise. I'm pretty sure everyone can find this easy enough. 1, 2, 3. Those people with heels, it's very hard. Okay. Now, I want to ask you now to do this for 20 seconds, but this time with your eyes closed. And see, no cheating. You cannot open your eyes. You have to just keep your eyes open and then stand with your eyes closed for 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay, 1, 2. I see a lot of people are giving up already. Is it hard? Okay, you can sit down now. So why is it hard? Essentially, what we've learned in neuroscience is that your sense of balance is dependent upon your sense of vision. So what does this mean? If you don't have a vision, you will fall down. And in Block Dojo, we help your vision to come into reality. So if you have an idea, got an idea, please chat with us. Thank you very much.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.